Don't freak out, that's purely for theatrical effect. It is related to a subject that I've been thinking about making a video on. Could have done earlier, but there's testing currently that I've been going through over the last month on a matter called autism. And I have it. I have spectral autism disorder. And it really actually brings a lot of closure to a lot of confusion that I've had, I think, for the last 10 or 15 years. An adult who is almost 30, and a lot of stuff never felt like it added up. The way things progress, things would just fall apart all the time in any situation I have career-wise. Well, a side thought, I thought I'd just give, it's, well, I thought a spectral autism disorder, the paperwork here saying it's Autism Spectrum Disorder, which would, maybe there's a reason it's ASD, not SAD, because the original saying for spectral, the spectrum is spectrum autism disorder, then you just call it SAD and tell people, I have SAD. Okay, I guess that depends what mood I'm in. I'm just gonna switch that up deliberately, but okay, it's known as Autism Spectrum Disorder, ASD. And it's basically a neurological disorder I've got, where things simply are not wired the same way, and it's, you know, it's got a whole spectrum. People that have their neurological wiring in their head at such a vast difference, you know, social communication is no longer functioning properly, and there's hypersensitivities that accumulate as well. Usually as for myself, it's probably just the more higher functioning end. Some people are familiar with it being called Asperger's, but that's simply a term, at least in the US, that's not recognized anymore since 2013. Europe, I guess, goes on a different system for mental health, and they recognize the term. This kind of explains a lot for me, or that's how it's bringing closure, because the way I usually communicate with people, it's like strangers in particular, interactions just seem off. Like I feel like I'm missing something. And as a result, also at work, usually I would have a job. I don't really have a real job right now. That's just this and helping my dad's business. And also because I'm helping my dad's business, I, a 30-year-old, am still living with my parents. And it was basically reasons being, it gets rid of the stress of trying to live on my own. Well, it's been difficult making a living. I've never seen a year where I've made more than $15,000 in a single year, and I definitely don't feel like I'm living. I'm just surviving, especially in this world where it's not food you gotta gather and survive. It's money now. You gotta gather and survive. There's certainly perspectives I think are different in how they get interpreted by me than the rest of society. I know I look like an asshole on average to any stranger. The truth is, I don't mean to be rude. I mean, facial expressions seem to be rather limited. Maybe that's why people just get weirded out. Just not enough expression. So I guess if you don't have enough expression on your face, it can be frightening for people. It's like, wait, I'm used to having a read on a person. This person's just blank slate. And you know, that's everything. Yeah, facial expression. Tone of voice, that's something I could try and access every once in a while. But me trying reading certain tones, it's familiarizing process. Like, I'm familiar, but the sensitivity of that familiarity to reading is rather compromised, you could say. But I'm doing everything I can, like, move forward with this new information. I wish I had this awareness brought to me maybe 10 or 20 years ago. If I was aware that I had this, there was a lot of stuff I think I could have progressed better, because I was living on my own a little bit, but it all fell apart. And it just explains a lot. If I had, because there would have been coaching that could have maybe helped with me sticking with a career that, I mean, I worked as a bug tester at Nintendo, and as well as a tester of sorts over at Microsoft the following year after I was let go by Nintendo. But And the leads over at that place thought I was one of the best testers, but because of social tensions and a couple of unintended inappropriate questions later, well, I was let go. And yeah, that's one thing, which is another thing. Yeah, the sense of what's personal, I think, is vague for me. I just see questions and conversation as just conversation, like that people get physical feelings on subjects. That's completely foreign to me, and it's I feel bad if somebody gets angry, and I don't mean to be impersonal, but yeah. Well, if you're still watching, I have a request, anybody watching this, to share this video to bring awareness for autism in adults. There are a lot of adults out there with autism that was never diagnosed, either because of insurance reasons or maybe even religious reasons, where that people just think somebody's different and don't realize the actual neurological differences that are making effects on the mentality. I appreciate anybody that's watching this, and I hope that it's shared. And for anybody else that pays attention to this channel, I appreciate that you come along as well with me on all this. I'll probably make a few more videos, maybe to try and bring more perspective, because I could definitely tell there's a major difference in, I think, the way I see things than the average person. See you later.